up, guys? It's Tate with Copper State Tackle. We're down in the shop today for our little YouTube. We got Shane here. You know, we wanted to talk about a summer technique. You know, it's still hot out there. Fish are still offshore, but I wanted to talk to you guys about some mag spoons today. So, you know, it can be intimidating. There's a couple different, you know, ones you can pick from color-wise. You know, you can get kind of confusing on them, but you know, Shane mostly targets the stripers for him. He's been catching big stripers out there at Pleasant. I'm mostly going, you know, for the largemouth, salt chain, Roosevelt, sag. Even if you guys aren't out in Arizona, these techniques are still gonna work. But
all across the country, they catch them on big spoons.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, you'd be surprised too on the size of fish that will come and smoke this thing. I mean, I know on the largies, I've caught pounders on this.
I caught a pound striper today on an 8-inch spoon.
Yeah, and they smoke it. They absolutely hammer it. So
white bass, everything.
Everything. Yeah. So if you guys got stripers, white bass, largemouth, even on some of the smaller ones, some smallmouth, it's fun. Yep. But we kind of just wanted to give you guys a little breakdown for this today. You know, I'll tell you guys kind of the largemouth setup. I'll show you guys kind of the striper setup and just kind of the overall differences, what you're going to see in that. But starting off, I'll show you guys kind of two of my favorite spoons. You know, I got the SONAR spoon from 6 Cents and then the Big Larry. I've really been liking the Big Larry from NICHOLS lately. I'll kind of show you guys what sets it apart. It's just kind of the body design they did. So if you can kind of see on the camera right there, it has more cupping to it than the SONAR spoon or even your classic MAGNUM NICHOLS spoon. So what that does is just, it really slows the fall down. I was actually talking to Zaldane, who designed this spoon at ICAST, and it's really your largemouth kind of specific spoon. The way he designed it with that slow fall, but I mean, just flip it. I'm targeting, you know, especially at swirl like bluff walls. Yeah. Main lake points.
What makes that spoon so good for largemouth is what makes it not so good for stripers.
Exactly, so, which he'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that, but that spoon is just nice and slow, and they smash it. Gives them time to smash it. Looks real natural.
Yep, but yeah, so those, you know, on either like, I like throwing it kind of on like a junior swim rod. I'm using the 711 USA Custom, Mod Fast. You know, I like that. I don't like a broomstick, like too stiff, because when you're working it sometimes and it don't flex at all. It's just kind of a weird feeling. But so just a Mod Fast rod, 20-pound fluoro, and then I'm going on a 200 size reel. So super basic. You know, even when I'm graphing them, I'm not scoping or nothing. I'll go basic sonar, see my rainbows or see them on down imaging, and just spot lock it, cast behind the boat. But for the stripers, what are we looking at? What's your favorite go-to spoon? And
the stripers, I like the NICHOLS Mag, the Ben Parker. It's an 8-inch spoon. It's 3.5 ounces, so it is a very large spoon. The one I got here is chrome. Just kind of show you the size. I mean, it is huge, but it would blow your mind, like we said at the beginning of the video, like what is willing to eat this. I mean, I've had clients catch pound white bass. I caught a pound striper. You know, their mouth is this big, and somehow they managed to get it all the way in.
Right.
So I like to throw mine on P-Line CXX 17. P-Line, the CXX is a co-poly, so it has that like stiffness and like strength of fluorocarbon, but it has that give a little bit, so it doesn't, you know, set the hook in. Because these stripers, if you hook into a 10 plus, like you hook it and it just goes, and that fluoro can snap. So I run a 200 size reel. You can get perfect amount of line on that. You can go to a 300, but I don't see the need. It's
200 still nice.
The 200 fits in your hand comfortable.
Yeah, for rod wise, you going on a little beefier rod than
I like a little beefier rod, because that spoon's 3.5 ounces compared to, you know,
the Big Larry's,
or it's something like that.
Yeah, you're talking an ounce lighter on both of these.
The perfect rod, in my opinion, is the Bailey Swim QUERCUS. It's 8 foot. It's rated for 1 to 4 ounces, so it's right at that range. This rod does handle it a little bit better, and plus when you catch those 4 or 5 pound stripers, it makes it really fun to reel them in. The other one, a little bit cheaper, that rod's 200 bucks, is the Genesis 3 Bailey Swim. This one's rated 3 to 8 ounces, so it's a little bit stiffer of a rod, but it's good if you kind of want to save a little bit of money and then have a crossover for throwing some bigger glide baits and stuff. That rod's great for throwing smaller glide baits. This one, like, I love to throw the Draw 9 for the stripers when that season comes around. this rod is perfect for throwing the draw 9 and the spoon.
And kind of step up a little bit.
When you do catch a 3 to 4 pound striper on this, it kind of works them pretty good, right. And it's definitely stiffer. The action for throwing the spoon is better on the QUERCUS, but for an all-around, save a little bit of money and be able to throw that, the Genesis 3 is the rod I would go.
Get a little glide bait, kind of spoon in one rod.
Get that combo, and kind of how I'm working it, I'm graphing, finding them in the main channels, main lake points, and you just go around, you'll see them. I mean, they're in schools of anywhere from 25 to 200-300 if you find a big school, and I just drop it straight down. They're so hard to cast, and then they glide once you drop them down.
Right.
So I just kind of pitch them out, make sure that the tail end's facing away from the boat, because sometimes if it's facing under, it'll just slide underneath the boat, and that's a disaster. Yeah. So always just kind of lay the spoon out flat, let it hit the bottom, and then I crank up like 5-10 casts or cranks, and that spoon will come off the bottom anywhere 15-20 foot, and then I just click the button and let that thing go back down. So kind of like we were talking earlier, where the big Larry will flutter its way down, the Ben Parker, the mag, it's normally going butt first, and every once in a while it'll catch and do a swoop and then shoot down again.
But it's getting to them a lot faster.
It's getting fast, and that's when you'll feel them just free spooling down, and it hits so hard, like you hear the line and the guides pop. Like
yeah, I know, like those 2-pound largy, dude, they freaking smoke it. So I can't imagine those stripers. But so that NICHOLS, definitely for the striper, that faster fall, guys, it's gonna just fires them up a little more.
We've got a couple largemouth, so I'm not saying the largemouth don't eat this one here. We've got a few, but if you're going largemouth, I think
definitely one of the, they got a little more flutter, you know, a little slower fall to them, which I think that's been helping with the largemouth.
Absolutely.
And then on those stripers too, like I know when I'm fishing it, like I'll pull up to my spot and I'll make 4 or 5 casts, and like if they ain't firing, it's not happening. Striper, you stick around a little more.
So I'm sitting there kind of in the highways where they come in and out on the end of the points, humps, that kind of stuff, main channel swings, and sit there with live scope. Like I said, you graph, find them before, set down, and then they could be right there right now, and you drop down, you start catching them. Sometimes you gotta wait 5, 10, 15 minutes. There'll be nothing on the screen, all of a sudden they just light up, and you just lay into them for a while.
Just move in,
and then they leave just as fast as they showed up. So you kind of make it quick, don't take pictures right there, throw them in the live well, throw them in the bottom of the boat, get back down, do it as fast as you can, because sometimes they only last 5-10 minutes and they're gone. Sometimes they last 20-30. Most of the time it's normally a couple minutes and it's gone.
That short. Yeah, that's the same for largies. I mean, it goes down, and then when it's done, it's done.
The stripers will come back. You just wait, not the same ones, but if you're sitting on one of them popular spots that they're going to pass by, they're going to keep coming by eventually.
Just kind of circulate through. Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for you guys right now, if you guys want to go get on, you know, bunch of fish, especially for the stripers, you know,
big ones,
catching big ones, small ones, all that good stuff, and then the largemouth. I mean, don't be scared to try this stuff, guys. It's really a good time. Once you catch one on it, you'll be
you're hooked.
It's going down. But
I'm telling you right now, this video will be out by July next year. Someone will catch the state record on a spoon.
Yeah, there you go. There you guys go.
The state record, 27 pounds. It'll get beat on a spoon in the next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. I know they're in there. I've seen what he's hooked into this year, and it's insane. But
we've hooked some ones that I wish we could have seen.
Yeah,
like
that's insane.
I mean, they just take off and snap your line faster than you realize what happened.
That CXX is strong stuff, dude. I mean, like, it's stupid. But yeah, if you guys even need more help, hit Shane up for guide services. If you want like on the water in person showing you how to do this.
I also have a couple of videos on my YouTube, like on the water, where you can see if you want to check that out to actually see. But I'd love to take you out on a guide trip if you want to do that too.
Yeah, so if for largemouth too, we got you guys covered on all that. But we'll link all the products, all the setups, so you know exactly what we're throwing, what reels, what rods. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and check it all on the website, copperstatetackle.com.